Alright, today we'll be demonstrating giving a bed bath, both partial and full. And the first step will be to verify the doctor's orders, which you already have done. Gather our supplies, which we have gathered here. Hand hygiene, so we're going to wash our hands. Provide privacy for the patient, and you do that either by drawing the curtain or closing the door. And then we are going to introduce ourselves to the patient. So, hello ma'am, my name is Joe Guillen, I'll be your nurse today. And then we're going to ID the patient. So ma'am, can I have your name and date of birth?
Crystal Guillen, 10/10/2000.
Alright, thank you very much. Do you have any allergies?
No.
Alright, specifically to latex or any kinds of soap?
No.
Alrighty, so we've ID'd the patient, we verified allergies. After that, we explain what we're going to be doing today. So, Crystal, we're fixing to give you a bed bath, okay? Is that alright with you? And then we're going to assess your skin for any irritation or redness. So you assess the patient's skin. Okay, no redness. And then we assess the vital signs, specifically breathing or just the O2 sat, just to make sure she can tolerate laying down in bed. And then after that, we ask the patient if they need to void. All right, do you need to void or anything before we start?
No.
All right, and then after that, we do hand hygiene one more time. And this time we're going to put on some gloves. So after you put on gloves, you then bring the supplies from outside the room and you place them on the bedside table. This right here is wipes for a partial bed bath. And then we're going to be demonstrating the complete bed bath. So we've got some wash rags here, water basin, and some soap and lotion. You want to fill the basin 2/3 up of the way with warm water. And then you put the soap in here with the wash rags. Also optional, you can put the lotion in the warm water just to warm it for after the patient's bath, if they would like it. And so we're going to before we begin giving the bed bath, we're going to raise the side rails up, the 2 upper side rails, and then we're going to raise the bed to a working height. And then we also raise the head of the bed 30 degrees. And then before we begin, also we want to remove the pillow from the patient. And then from there we can begin. So we want to wash with the face always. And so when you start with the face, you start with the eyes. So you want to clean the eyes to get those eye boogers out. And then from there you kind of work your way out. So after you've cleaned the eyes, you want to wash the face of the patient. And also be sure to wash the front of the neck of the patient. And so after before we continue and before you actually start, you want to place the bath towel on the patient, and you want to remove the gown, obviously, and the sheet from the patient. Sorry, Miss Moore, left that step out. And so now the patient will just keep themselves covered with the bath towel. And then from there you would wash the face in the steps that I described. And so after the face, you want to wash the upper extremities. And you always want to start distal and work your way up. And so that includes washing the fingers, the palm of the hand. You want to get in between the fingers. If possible, try to get under the fingernails and anything like that. If they've got glue from pulse oxes, try to wash that off. And then you want to work your way up to the axillary area. And then you just repeat the same process on the other upper extremity. And then you want to wash the trunk of the patient. If it's a female, you want to make sure you wash under the breast. And by that, you would pick one up with one hand and then just wipe with the other, obviously. And then you want to dap it dry. Just make sure there's no moisture or anything under there. After the trunk, you want to wash the abdomen of the patient, including you want to make sure there's no gunk or anything in the umbilicus. And then you want to, after you've washed the abdomen and trunk of the patient, you want to do the lower extremities. Same process as the upper extremities. You want to start distal and work your way proximal. And so you want to clean in between the toes. You want to get the heel of the foot, all of that. Same process under the toenails, and then just work your way up. And so before you move on to the back, you want to perform peri-care with every bath. And so you always want to wipe. You always want to wipe front to back. And then if if it's a male, obviously you wash the penis of the patient. If they're circumcised or uncircumcised, you want to draw back the foreskin and make sure you clean everything correctly, just to help prevent any infection, anything like that. And so, just front to back. And so, before you move on to the back, you want to take off the gloves, perform a hand hygiene. And then, since you did perform peri-care, you want to get a new bucket of warm water, just so you don't use the same nasty water. So you want to get new warm water, new wash rags, everything. And then you want to put on a new pair of gloves. And then you would just ask the patient to turn for you, or if needed, you can get an assistant to help turn the patient. And so when washing the back of the patient, you always want to start from head to toe. So you start at the neck and then just work your way down. This patient's got a little tail. And so then you would work all the way down to the bottom. And then from there just finish cleaning the bottom if necessary. And then you would change your gloves again and perform hand hygiene again. And so I've got a new pair of gloves on. And this is where you put some new sheets on the patient and a new gown. If they need it, new leads. And when getting rid of the old linen, you always want to roll it away from you or from the nurse and dispose of it in the linen carts. And so, since we are done with the bed bath, patient has a new gown on and fresh sheets. You always want to offer oral care, whether it's brushing their teeth, maybe combing their hair, putting on lotion as stated, it's already warm. And then you want to raise the head of the bed, make sure they're in a comfortable position. Ma'am, are you in a comfortable position? so the bed is lowered safely for the patient. You've got 2 side rails up, bed is locked. And then before leaving the room, you want to make sure they've got their bedside table next to them, they've got the call light. Ma'am, can I help you with anything else today?
No.
Alright, so now that the bed bath is done, you want to dispose of your gloves, including all the supplies you've used. You want to get all that out of the room. And then you want to wash your hands before you leave the room. And then once you leave the room and you're finished, you always want to document that you did the bed bath. And that's it.